My brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when you look around and feel as if you're standing alone in a room full of people. Your heart is heavy, your mind is tired, and your soul whispers quietly, Allah, how much longer? There are days when you wake up strong, determined, ready to face your battles. And then there are days when even breathing feels like a test. And in those moments, when the tears slip quietly onto your pillow, when you hide your pain so no one sees it, when you pretend to be okay even though your heart feels completely shattered, remember this: Allah never forgets the heart that trusts Him. Sometimes life moves so fast that we feel left behind. Doors close in our faces one after another. People you thought would never leave end up walking away. Plans you built with so much hope collapse in front of your eyes. And deep inside, a voice begins to ask, did Allah forget me? But let me tell you something powerful. When you reach that point, when everything feels like it's falling apart, that is often when Allah is building something you can't see yet. That is when He is preparing you for the very blessing you've been begging for. Your tears are not forgotten. Your patience is not ignored. Your trust does not vanish into the wind. It is recorded, valued, and honored by the one who created your heart. You see, sometimes Allah delays not to deny you, but to strengthen you. Sometimes He keeps you in the storm not to drown you, but to teach you how to walk on water. Sometimes He removes people because He heard conversations you didn't. He saw actions behind your back that you couldn't. And sometimes the silence you feel from the world is Allah calling you closer to Him, because there is a depth of love, comfort, and peace that you can only discover when everything else has been taken away. My beloved brothers and sisters, let us dive deeper into this beautiful truth. When you find yourself standing in a place where nothing makes sense, where every direction feels blocked and every prayer feels delayed, that is exactly the moment when trusting Allah becomes the most powerful act of worship you can offer. It is easy to trust Allah when everything is flowing smoothly, when doors open effortlessly, when your plans unfold exactly as you imagined. But real trust, true, deep, unshakable trust, appears when life confuses you, when the timing feels off, when the answers feel far away, and when your heart whispers, why is this happening to me? That is the moment Allah is watching your heart closely. That is the moment your faith is being polished. That is the moment your destiny is being written in ways you cannot see. Think of the times when you stood in front of something that looked impossible. You tried, you prayed, you cried, and still nothing changed. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, is the delay really a setback, or is it protection? Is the confusion a punishment, or is it preparation? You may not realize it, but some of the greatest blessings you will ever receive come wrapped in moments that feel like hardship. Allah sometimes hides the wisdom behind a curtain until you are strong enough, mature enough, and spiritually ready enough to receive it. If He gave you everything the moment you asked, you might not appreciate it, or even worse, you might not be prepared to handle it. Trusting Allah when everything makes sense is beautiful, but trusting Him when nothing makes sense is one of the most powerful forms of faith. Look at the stories of the prophets. None of them saw the full plan. They walked in darkness with hearts full of light. When Musa stood before the Red Sea, the water was in front of him, the army behind him, and fear around him. But what did he say? Not, how will Allah save me? Now, why am I in this situation? He simply said, my Lord is with me and He will guide me. That is trust. That is faith. That is the kind of belief that opens seas, moves mountains, and transforms destinies. Imagine applying that level of trust to your own life. Imagine standing in front of your challenges, not with panic but with peace, not with fear but with quiet certainty. Imagine saying, Allah, I don't see a way yet, but I know You will make one. This is not blind optimism. This is spiritual clarity. This is recognizing that the one who controls the universe is the one who controls your situation. When you submit your worries into His hands, you are placing them with the one who never fails, the one who never forgets, the one who never makes a mistake. Sometimes Allah will push you to the edge of your comfort so you can grow. Sometimes He will take you through a storm so you can learn how strong you truly are. Sometimes He will keep something away from you because He knows it will harm you. And sometimes He will delay something because what He plans for you is far greater than what you planned for yourself. Trust doesn't remove the pain entirely, but it gives you the strength to move through it with dignity. Trust doesn't erase confusion, but it gives you the ability to keep walking even when the path is unclear. So when life feels heavy and uncertain, remember this: the one who guided you to this moment has not abandoned you. The one who brought you this far will not leave you stranded. Walk forward, even if slowly. Pray even if your voice shakes. Hope even if your heart is tired. Trust even when you cannot see the result. Because Allah is preparing something for you. Something worth every second of patience, every tear shed in sujood, and every moment of confusion. And when the plan finally unfolds, you will look back and say with full conviction, Subhanallah, this was better than anything I ever imagined. There are moments in your life when words fail you, when the emotions in your chest become so heavy that you cannot express them to anyone around you. You smile in front of people, but inside you feel like you are sinking. You stay quiet because you don't want to burden anyone. You don't want to appear weak, and you don't want your pain to become a source of gossip. So you carry it alone. But what you don't realize is that every tear you shed, every silent thought you struggle to put into words, every heartbreak you try to hide, Allah sees all of it. And when those tears fall, even if they're unseen by the world, they rise directly to the one who understands you better than you understand yourself. Those late night moments when you sit on your bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to make sense of your life, that is not loneliness. That is an invitation. An invitation from Allah telling you, speak to me. I am here. I am listening. People may not notice the fatigue in your voice. They may not recognize the pain behind your silence. They may not see the fears you try so hard to mask. But Allah sees the heartbeat behind your words. He hears the prayers you cannot articulate. Sometimes the dua you struggle to say is answered through the tear you shed instead. Because tears are not a sign of weakness. They are a language of the soul. They are a conversation between your heart and your Creator. There are duas you make while standing, sitting, and walking. But the most powerful duas are often the ones made with tears streaming down your face. Why? Because at that moment you are the most sincere. There is no ego, no pride, no mask, just you and Allah. When your voice breaks, when your chest tightens, when you say, Allah, help me, I have no one but you, that is when your dua flies straight to the heavens. Your brokenness becomes your strength. Your vulnerability becomes your connection to Him. Do you know why crying to Allah brings relief even when nothing around you changes immediately? Because in that moment, Allah softens your heart, lifts the weight from your soul, and wraps you in a peace that the world cannot give. You walk away from that dua with the same situation, but a different state of mind. You walk away knowing that you are no longer carrying this alone. And that realization itself is a gift that Allah gives to hearts that remember Him. And sometimes the tears you shed today become the reason for the happiness you receive tomorrow. Because Allah never lets a tear fall without purpose. Not one. The tear you shed in sujood, the tear you shed from frustration, the tear you shed from longing, the tear you shed from fear, each one is recorded with honor. Each one is a witness of your faith. Each one is a sign that despite hardship, your heart still turns back to Allah. So if you're in pain, don't bottle it up. Don't let your emotions drown you. Don't feel ashamed to cry. You are not crying to a human being who might judge you or misunderstand you. You are crying to the one who created your emotions, who knows your soul, who understands your silence, and who responds even when you feel unworthy. Every tear is heard. Every whisper is understood. Allah sees the battles you don't express, and He rewards the patience you never speak of. Let your tears be a bridge between your heart and the mercy of Allah. Let them cleanse you. Let them soften you. Let them remind you that you are never alone, not for a moment, not for a heartbeat, not for a single tear. Allah is with you, listening, comforting, and preparing something beautiful for you, something worth every tear you have ever cried. There is a profound sense of security and peace that comes to the heart of the person who truly places their trust in Allah. This protection is unlike any protection the world can offer. It is invisible yet unshakable. It is silent yet impenetrable. People may betray you. Circumstances may turn against you. The world may try to break you. But the believer who leans on Allah is wrapped in a shield no one can penetrate. This is a type of protection that does not depend on your wealth, your influence, or your strength. It depends entirely on your reliance on the one who controls everything. Think for a moment about the countless times you feared for your life, your reputation, or your future, only to realize later that Allah had kept you safe in ways you couldn't see at the time. Sometimes, His protection comes in subtle forms. Perhaps a door that seemed essential closed for a reason. Perhaps a friendship you held on to tightly was removed because it would have harmed your heart. Perhaps a path you were desperate to take never opened because the journey would have led to destruction. You may have thought it was loss, but it was protection. You may have felt abandoned, but it was divine care in disguise. Allah shields the heart that trusts Him from what it cannot endure. even when the person cannot see it at the moment. The believer's trust in Allah is like an anchor in the storm. While the wind rages and the waves crash, while fear whispers in the ears and uncertainty clouds the mind, the heart that relies on Allah does not drift. It remains grounded because it knows the one holding it is greater than all trials combined. This trust does not mean there will be no difficulties. It does not mean life will suddenly be easy. But it means that even in the hardest moments, there is a safety net woven by Allah's mercy. There is a quiet confidence in knowing that nothing can touch what Allah has protected. And that protection extends beyond material things. It touches your heart, your mind, your dignity, your faith, and your soul. Consider the stories of the prophets and the righteous who came before us. Time and time again, they faced betrayal, loss, and hardship. Yet their hearts remained firm because they understood that true protection lies with Allah. He is the only one whose protection cannot be bypassed. He is the only one whose security does not falter. And He is the one who preserves the believer even when the world conspires to destroy them. This is a promise not based on circumstance but on divine decree. The heart that trusts Allah is always guarded. The beauty of this protection is that it is both preventative and restorative. Allah may prevent harm before it reaches you. He may restore what was lost in ways you never imagined. He may turn trials into blessings and heartbreak into wisdom. The believer learns to see the world differently, to feel the unseen hands of Allah guiding, shielding, and preserving. Trust in Allah allows you to walk through life with courage, knowing that your heart is never truly alone and your soul is never truly unprotected. So when the world tries to shake you, when fear tries to enter your heart, when circumstances tempt you to doubt, remember this: you are held by the most merciful, the most powerful, the all-wise. Your trust in Allah is the key that unlocks a protection stronger than anything you could ever build for yourself. Even when you cannot see it, even when you do not feel it, it is there. And that knowledge alone gives the heart a peace that no storm can destroy, a calm that no fear can conquer, and a courage that no trial can break. When a heart truly trusts Allah, something remarkable begins to happen. It starts to see beyond the immediate trials and setbacks and begins to recognize the blessings that have been perfectly planned for it. Trust in Allah is not passive. It is not simply sitting and waiting for something to happen. It is an active, deliberate choice to hold on to hope, to continue praying, to continue striving even when the outcome is unclear. It is choosing patience when everything around you urges you to give up. It is choosing faith when your heart is tired, when your dreams feel delayed, when your efforts seem ignored. And this choice, repeated day after day, shapes your character, elevates your soul, and positions you to receive blessings that are meant only for you. Consider the beauty of timing in Allah's plan. Sometimes He delays a blessing not because He is unaware of your need, but because He wants you to be ready to receive it in the best possible way. Imagine receiving a gift before you were ready to appreciate it. You might have squandered it, you might have misunderstood it, or it might not have had the impact it was meant to have. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, ensures that every blessing arrives at the perfect moment. Trusting Him means understanding that the delay is not denial, the struggle is not punishment, and the waiting is not wasted. It is preparation, it is refinement, it is guidance. Trusting Allah also teaches you to let go of what is not meant for you. How often do we hold on tightly to people, plans, or possessions, thinking they are essential, only to discover later that their absence was a mercy? The heart that trusts Allah knows that everything removed from its life is done with wisdom, and everything destined will inevitably find its way back. This realization brings a profound inner peace. You stop chasing the impossible, you stop fearing loss, and you begin to align your life with divine guidance. You learn that blessings are not always what you imagined. They are often better than anything you could have planned for yourself. Moreover, trust in Allah transforms the way you respond to challenges. Instead of despairing when things go wrong, you begin to ask, what lesson is here? What growth is Allah preparing me for? Every hardship becomes a stepping stone. Every disappointment becomes a test of patience. And every delay becomes an opportunity for character development. And the remarkable part is that when the blessing finally arrives, it feels as though every moment of waiting, every tear, every struggle was worth it. You look back and realize that Allah's plan was far more beautiful than anything you could have imagined on your own. The blessing fits your heart perfectly, fills the emptiness you didn't even know was there, and aligns with your true purpose in ways you could never predict. So the heart that trusts Allah does not simply survive, it thrives. It walks with hope, it perseveres with patience, and it receives with gratitude. It understands that trust is both the journey and the destination, that every delay has wisdom, and that every answered prayer carries a depth beyond the material. By trusting Allah completely, you open yourself to blessings that are profound, lasting, and perfectly designed for your life. And when those blessings arrive, you will know with certainty that the one you trusted never forgot you, never abandoned you, and never allowed your trust to be in vain. In conclusion, my brothers and sisters, never forget this: the heart that places its trust in Allah is never overlooked, never abandoned, and never forgotten. Every tear you shed, every moment of patience you endure, every prayer you raise in sincerity is seen, valued, and rewarded by the most merciful. Life may challenge you, circumstances may confuse you, and people may fail you, but the one who controls the heavens and the earth remains by your side, guiding, protecting, and preparing you for blessings far greater than you can imagine. Trust in Him, even when the path is unclear, even when your heart is weary, and even when the answers seem delayed. Your trust is a key that unlocks divine protection, unimaginable blessings, and a peace that surpasses all understanding. Remember, Allah never forgets the heart that trusts Him. Keep your faith alive, hold your hope firm, and let your trust guide every step of your journey. And if this reminder touched your heart, share this message with someone who needs encouragement today. And subscribe to stay connected to more powerful reminders that uplift your soul and strengthen your faith. May Allah bless you, protect you, and reward your trust abundantly. Ameen.